Bienvenidos sean todos. Mi nombre es Mr. Pauer. It's a pleasure to be here as part of Make Your Mark Miami. What a beautiful moment in history, okay? Recuerda, voting is powerful. Voting is powerful.
Que se prenda esto. Es una fiesta.
Remember, voting is powerful.
Panamá en la casa, peligro. Sol, playa, fiesta en la arena. Moda como una sirena. Como tú nadie lo mueve, morena. Primera, no segunda o tercera. Sol, playa, fiesta en la arena. Moda como una sirena. Como tú nadie lo mueve, morena. Primera, no segunda o tercera. Baila salsa con el ratamana. Estamos activos, listos pa' gozar. El ambiente está sensacional. Mr. Pauer con la bailada.
Estoy pensando en las cosas que quiero hacerte yo. Ese culito está rico así como J-Lo.
Yo no sabía que era bandida, pero por ahí me decían. Cómo lo baila mamita, cuidado que te puede joder la rodilla. Mira cómo lo hace, cómo lo bate. cómo lo bate. Tú sabes, mamita, eso no se aprende, con eso se nace.
Sol, playa, fiesta en la arena, moda como una sirena, como tú nadie lo mueve morena, primera, no segunda o tercera. Sol, playa, fiesta en la arena, moda como una sirena, como tú nadie lo mueve morena, primera, no segunda o tercera. Baila, salta con el racamana, estamos activos, listos pa' gozada, el ambiente está sensacional, Mr. Pauer con la bailada.
¿Qué lo que quiere esa nena? ¿Qué es lo que quiere esa nena? ¿Qué es lo que quiere esa nena? ¿Qué es lo que quiere esa nena?
Esta nena quiere votar. ¿Sí o no?
¿Qué es lo que quiere esa nena? ¿Qué es lo que?
Baila, salta con el racamana, estamos activos, listos pa' gozada, el ambiente está sensacional, Mr. Pauer con la bailada.
Peligro.
Racas en Miami.
¿Qué es lo que?
Bueno, ¿cómo la están pasando? Un placer estar aquí con todos ustedes, Mr. Pauer. Trayendo un mensaje positivo, un mensaje powerful. Remember, voting is powerful. ¿Sí o no, mi gente que está aquí? ¿Qué dice la gente? Voting is powerful. Recuerda que esto es una producción millonaria. Claudia Calle.
Tenemos que plantar más árboles, positivo para la cima, dándole a todo lo negativo, arrancándole. Esto es una rola salvaje, con tambores, duro y clave. Vamos a salir a rumbear para la calle y que se queden atrás las maldades. ¿Cómo salimos de aquí caminando? ¿Cómo se echa para adelante trabajando? Vamos a salir para la calle rumbeando. El primer paso hay que darle bailando. ¿Cómo salimos de aquí caminando? ¿Cómo se echa para adelante trabajando? Vamos a salir para la calle rumbeando. El primer paso hay que darle bailando. Vamos a salir para la calle. 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 Positivo con la mente clara, con calma, pero sin pausa. No te lo lleves de tarea para la casa. Hazlo ahora porque el tiempo te pasa. No te quedes pegado a Instagram. Enfócate en lo tuyo, ese es el plan. Vamos a salir para la calle para rumbear, que la vida es una sola y hay que caminar. ¿Cómo salimos de aquí caminando? ¿Cómo se echa para adelante trabajando? Vamos a salir para la calle rumbeando. El primer paso hay que darle bailando. ¿Cómo salimos de aquí caminando? ¿Cómo se echa para adelante trabajando? Vamos a salir para la calle rumbeando. El primer paso hay que darle bailando. Vamos a salir para la calle. 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 Vamos a salir para la calle.
Para la calle, vamos a salir para la calle.
Vamos a salir para la calle.
Para la rumba vamos a salir para la calle.
Vamos a salir para la calle.
Para la cima, para la rumba, para la calle.
Vamos a salir para la calle.
Con Mr. Pauer y tumba para la calle.
El dinero no crece en los árboles. Enfócate en lo tuyo, ese es el plan. Vamos a salir a rumbear para la calle.
Make your mark, Miami.
Y que se queden atrás las maldades. Y que se queden atrás las maldades. Y que se queden atrás las maldades. Y que se queden atrás las maldades.
gracias. Aquí los dejo con el resto. Mr. Pauer en la casa. Voting is powerful. Chau.
Hi everyone, welcome to Make Your Mark Miami, a virtual rally for the vote brought to you by Live Arts Miami. I'm your host, Cindy Winters, and I am so stoked to be with you here tonight for this special event. We are here to make sure that you are not just prepared, but inspired to vote and make your mark this election year. With a voter rally you will not forget. But before we get started, let's give it up for a pioneer in the Miami electro music scene, Mr. Pauer, for that stellar opening DJ set. He is just one of the great performers we have with us tonight to help us get moving and grooving all the way to the polls this year. So you're gonna hear some Cuban son, you're gonna hear some reggae, a drag show, and even Walter Mercado. Now, here's the deal, Miami. I think we can all agree that 2020 hasn't been exactly smooth sailing, with natural disasters rocking our country, a social awakening in the streets, and let's not forget our ever-evolving COVID-19 pandemic. But this is exactly why voting is so important. Election day is just 4 weeks away, y'all. Some of us will head directly to the polls. Some will simply walk to the mailbox in the coming weeks to cast their vote for the President of the United States. But here in Miami-Dade, we'll also be voting for a new mayor, municipal leaders, and several amendments, okay? So this is our chance to elect local, state, and federal leaders who can draft legislation, pass laws, and enact real change that we all want. We're voting for our future, for our families, for our planet, for our very lives, okay? Let's not squander the opportunity to make a difference. Feeling overwhelmed by the whole voting thing? Well, the good news is you don't need to go for it alone. Tonight, we'll hear from some reliable voting experts that are here to make voting a breeze. By the end of the night, you'll be dancing your way to the ballot box with a plan in hand. Oh, and if you need a refresher after tonight's show, no worries. This video will remain right here on Live Arts Miami's Facebook page, okay? So please share it with your friends, share it with your family. In fact, share it right now, add it to your feed. Don't worry, I'll wait. Great. We appreciate your help in spreading the love all across Miami. So, it's time. It is time to make our mark, Miami. So let's kick it off with our first guest artist of the night. None other than the amazing Aymee, Nuviola, and el maestro Gonzalo Rubalcaba.
Aunque tú me has echado en el abandono, aunque ya has muerto todas mis ilusiones, en vez de maldecirte con justo encono, en mis sueños te colmo, en mis sueños te colmo de bendiciones. Sufro la inmensa pena de tu extravío, siento el dolor profundo de tu partida y lloro sin que sepas que el llanto mío tiene lágrimas negras, tiene lágrimas negras, como mi vida. esa pena de tu extravío. Siento el dolor profundo de tu partida y lloro sin que sepas que el llanto mío tiene lágrimas negras, tiene lágrimas negras como mi vida. Oye, tú me quieres dejar, yo no quiero sufrir, contigo me voy mi santo, aunque me cueste morir. Dilo lindo, sí, vaya, gózalo. Y tú me quieres dejar, yo no quiero sufrir, contigo me voy mi santo, aunque me cueste morir. Oh. Tú me quieres dejar, yo no quiero sufrir, contigo me voy mi santo, aunque me cueste morir. Si un jardinero de amor siembra una flor y se va, y otro viene y la cultiva, ¿de cuál de los dos será? Dímelo tú me quieres dejar, yo no quiero sufrir, contigo me voy mi santo, aunque me cueste, 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 aunque me muera del llanto, yo no te voy a dejar solito, contigo me voy, yo me voy mi santo, y tú me quieres dejar, yo no quiero sufrir, contigo me voy mi santo, aunque me cueste morir. Bueno, sí, agua. Ahí nada más. Dice, tú me quieres dejar, oye, yo no quiero sufrir. No, 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 no. Oye, que me quiero morir, tú me quieres dejar. Yo no quiero sufrir, contigo me voy mi santo, aunque me cueste morir, aunque me cueste morir. Agua. Apretaste.
Hola, Miami. I'm Richard Blanco. Back in 2013, when I served as presidential inaugural poet for Barack Obama, I learned something very important, that America is still a work in progress. And it's our civic duty to keep working on it, to keep writing that still unfinished story of we the people. And one of the most powerful and easiest ways to do that is by voting, so that you, your families, and communities don't get left out of that story. Make your mark, Miami. To inspire you, I want to share this poem, which was inspired by my mother and her story of exile, how she lost her country. Don't lose your America by not voting. Mother country, Madre Patria. To love a country as if you've lost one. 1968, my mother leaves Cuba for America, a scene I imagine as if standing in her place, one foot inside a plane destined for a country she knew only as a name, a color on a map, or glossy photos from drugstore magazines. Her other foot anchored to the platform of her patria, her hand clutched around one suitcase, taking only what she needs most, hand-colored photographs of her family, her wedding veil, the doorknob of her house, a jar of dirt from her backyard, goodbye letters she won't open for years. The sorrowful drone of engines, one last deep breath of familiar air she'll take with her. One last glimpse at all she'd ever known. The palm trees wave goodbye as she steps onto the plain. The mountains shrink from her eyes as she lifts off into another life to love a country as if you've lost one. I hear her. Once upon a time, reading picture books over my shoulder at bedtime, both of us learning English, sounding out words as strange as the talking animals and fair-haired princes in their pages. I taste her first attempts at macaroni and cheese, but with chorizo and peppers, and her shame over Thanksgiving turkeys, always dry, but countered by her perfect pork pernil and garlic yuca. I smell the rain of those mornings, huddled as one under one umbrella, waiting for the bus to her 10-hour days at the cash register. And at night, the zzz, zzz, zzz of her sewing her own blouses and quinceañera dresses for her grown nieces, still in Cuba, guessing at their sizes, and the gowns she sold to neighbors to save for a rusty white sedan, no hubcaps, no air conditioning, sweating all the way through our first vacation to Florida theme parks to love a country as if you've lost one, as if it were you on a plane departing from America forever. Clouds closing like curtains on your country, the last scene in which you're a madman scribbling the names of your favorite flowers, trees, and birds you'd never see again. Your address and phone number you'd never use again. The color of your father's eyes and your mother's hair, terrified you could somehow, someday, forget these. To love a country, as if I was my mother last spring, hobbling, insisting I help her climb all the way up to the U.S. Capitol, as if she were here before you today instead of me, explaining her tears, her cheeks pink as the cherry blossoms coloring the air, that day when she stopped, turned to me, and said, "You know, mijo, it isn't where you're born that matters. It's where you choose to die. That's your country."
Vamos a cambiar, a tener libertad. Depresión, depresión. Vamos a cambiar, vamos a despertar, Señor. Vamos a cantar, llenos de felicidad. Vamos a expresar cosas de sentimiento hoy. Vamos a cantarle la vida con amor. Ay, mira qué felicidad cantar de nuevo hoy. Sentí en tus brazos la felicidad, la cosa que no llegó. Vámonos para arriba, disfruta la vida, no te tengas miedo, mi amor. Que el tiempo y el destino está junto a ti y todo cambiará, mi amor. Este es el momento. Este es el momento que necesito un cambio, que necesito un cambio. Este es el momento, este es el momento que necesito un cambio, que necesito un cambio. Necesitamos un cambio, eso es a diario. Yo necesito un cambio, un cambio. Yo necesito un cambio, oye un cambio, cambio. Necesitamos un cambio, necesitamos un cambio. Un mudungón. Necesitamos un cambio, necesitamos un cambio, necesitamos un cambio. Hoy necesitamos un cambio, necesitamos un cambio, necesitamos un cambio para hoy.
Ay, mi amors, this is Walter, the spirit of Walter Mercado, coming to you live here on the beautiful, beautiful Make Your Mark Miami broadcast. Ay! On November the 3rd, we will have a very, very spiritual experience for every American citizen. Do you want to contribute to society? Do you want to make your voice be loud? Ay! Tonight, mi amor, Tonight I am going to inspire everybody, your Scorpio sign, Aquarius, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittario. I will tell you why you will vote, how you will vote, and how you will make your mark in Miami, mi amor.
Hi, I'm back. Wasn't that just amazing? Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up to cast my ballot. Now hear this. Did you know that in 2020, Gen Zers and millennials will make up over 30% of the eligible voters in the US? Crazy, right? Okay. Us younger people will play a crucial role in this election if we actually turn out and vote. So, Engage Miami is leading the effort in the 305 to educate and mobilize young people around important issues through leadership training and community organizing. Here with us tonight is Engage's own Marianne Firpo to go over 3 ways to vote. Take it away, Marianne.
Hey everyone, my name is Marianne and I'm a program coordinator with Engage Miami. Engage Miami is a local nonprofit that just wants young people like us to use the power we have through voting to build a better tomorrow for everyone. Once you've registered to vote at mdc.edu/vote, the next step is actually to make your voting plan. In the state of Florida, there are 3 ways to vote. You can vote by mail, you can vote early, or you can vote on election day. We actually recommend requesting your vote by mail ballot ASAP at engagemiami.vote and then sending it back right away as soon as you complete it. Your ballot has to arrive back at the Supervisor of Elections office by 7 p.m. on Election Day, November 3rd. So please mail it back sooner rather than later so that it arrives on time. In Miami-Dade County, the postage is actually prepaid, so you don't even have to worry about a stamp. Pop it in the mailbox and let it find its way. You can also track your ballot online too, so that you know when it's been received and when it's been counted. You also have the option of dropping off your vote by mail ballot at any of the 33 early voting sites all across our county, which will be open daily from October 19th to November 1st from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. All 33 of these early voting sites, including the ones at MDC North and MDC Kendall, will be available for up to 2 weeks before an election for early voting. Again, this November's elections has early voting happening from October 19th to November 1st from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. There's usually no line at all during early voting, and you can actually be in and out in like 2 minutes. Remember though that if you're voting on election day, you have to go to your assigned polling place, which can also be found at engagemiami.vote. Let's make our plans to vote now and help our family and our friends and our loved ones make theirs. Check your sample ballot to know what to expect. Our greatest strength is not only in voting for president, but voting for everyone who has a say in our government every single chance we get.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you, Marianne, so much. And to dive a little bit deeper, let's say hello to Engage's organizing director, Gilbert Placeras. Hey, Gilbert, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Cindy. Excited to be here.
Now, we know it's crunch time for these elections, so things must be hectic at Engage. You want to talk to us a little bit about what you're working on right now and all year round?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Engage, we're a local organization down here in South Florida, and our mission is to build the voice and the power of young people. We know as young people, we have the vision, and the values that we need to have the future that we deserve, but we don't have the power and the access to make that happen. So we work to fix that problem, whether it's through making sure everyone is registered to vote, making sure folks are actually going out to vote, that folks have the information they need to be informed voters and know what's on the ballot. And also just getting together as young people to talk about the issues that matter to us and fighting for the solutions that we deserve.
Thank you for all the work that you guys are doing. I mean, it seems like young people are super motivated to get out and get involved this election season. Is that the vibe that is on the street? Like, why would you say the youth vote is so important this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd say it's a vibe we've been feeling definitely now, and we've been feeling it for a while. As young people, as millennials, as Gen Z, we're the largest generations ever. Here in Miami-Dade, we're actually over 30% of the voters that there are. So you combine that with the level of energy that young people have. Young people realize that we have serious problems and we have to do something about it, whether it's through young people fighting against climate change, young people rising up for racial justice. Young people are really excited, really taking action, know how important it is. And I think that's going to be reflected in our elections this year.
Got it. Okay. So what can young people do to get active for this election beyond voting?
Beyond just voting yourself, make sure that everyone you know is going to vote. Do they have a voting plan? Do they know that they can vote by mail, that they can vote early, that they can vote on election day? And also just volunteer, whether it's through doing outreach, whether it's through people you know, join a local organization like us at Engage to help mobilize people and get the word out. And it's not just about this election. Voting is just the first step on a path of civic engagement. So we're excited to keep fighting for these things and making sure we have the future we deserve past election day.
Got you. Wow. So, okay, now we just saw Engage's 3 ways to vote, which was super informative, by the way. Let's dive in a little bit there. We know in some states, all registered voters will automatically receive a ballot in the mail. But that's not the case in Florida, correct?
Yeah, no, you don't automatically get a vote by mail ballot. You have to sign up for vote by mail. We have the option to do so at our site, engagemiami.vote. But once you request vote by mail, you get mailed your ballot, and just do it as soon as possible. This election, a lot of people are going to be voting by mail. So if you haven't done it yet, I'd say request your vote by mail ballot today.
So Gilbert, what is the deadline to submit your absentee ballot?
Here in Florida, it's a state where your vote by mail ballot has to arrive by 7 p.m. on election day. If it doesn't make it to the supervisor of elections by then, fortunately, it's late, and it's as if you weren't in line to vote or hadn't voted by then. So we're telling everyone to vote, to mail it in at least a week in advance. You want to be extra safe that ballot's going to make it in on time.
So Gilbert, can you break down what early voting means? Is it like a specific day that you go in, or is it a duration of time? Is it a good option to vote in advance of election day, November 3rd? Like, why is it preferred?
So early voting is the opportunity to vote early before the actual election, to go vote in person, but not on election day. Here in Miami-Dade, it's open for 2 full weeks before the election, starting on that Monday, 2 weeks prior to the election, October 19th, to the Sunday right before the election, November 1st. So during that period, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can go and vote at any of the 33 early voting sites in Miami-Dade. A lot of people like it. It's personally how I vote because there's no lines usually. It's not busy since it's open for so long. And you can also go to any of those 3 early voting sites, Here in Miami-Dade, we're lucky to have a few of them at college campuses, at Miami-Dade College North and Kendall campuses, and at FIU, so you can go vote at any of those. Versus if you vote on election day, you'd have to go to your assigned voting precinct close to where you're registered to vote. So that's important to know.
Oh, cool. So if I was driving to Publix and I'm passing the Miami-Dade Kendall campus, I can just pull in and vote and then continue on my way to Publix?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can be in and out in 10 minutes. And there's 33 locations and they're all over the county.
Okay, friends. So let's do it. Grab your phone. We're going to write down the dates for early voting and absentee voting. Done. Gilbert, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We wish you all the best at Engage Miami.
Thank you, Cindy. And if I can add one thing to your to-do list, make sure you do it with your friends and family because that's the best way to vote.
So there you go, my friends. As Gilbert mentioned, don't wait until the last moment, okay? We recommend everybody vote as early as you can. Now let's get ready to go to church tonight with Pastor Marc Cooper and Jalisa Faye.
When in the midst of sorrow, you can't see up when looking down. A brighter day tomorrow will bring. Oh, you hear the voice of reason telling you this can never be done. No matter how hard reality seems, just hold on to your dreams. Don't give up and don't give in. Although it seems you never win, you will always pass the test as long as you keep your head to the sky. You can win as long as you use your voice to decide. Be optimistic.
Wow, that was nice. That was wonderful. Listen, I'm here with Miss Jalisa Faye. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Pastor Cooper.
Wow, you said use your voice.
Yes, to decide.
To decide. It's election time, and it is time for us to prepare our hearts and gear up for this time of voting. And so why is it important for you to vote?
It's important for me to vote because when we look at the times that we're living in right now, there are so many things happening. And as a young African-American woman,
right,
you know, we face a lot of struggles, we face a lot of trials, and we can't fuss about the things that are going on if we don't use the authority that we have
right,
to change our circumstances and change our situation. So that's why voting is important to me. It's a chance for me to use my right to change the situation that I'm in.
Right. I believe some things can change.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, I believe they can change, and I'm voting for change. I'm voting for a difference. I'm voting for a better tomorrow. I'm concerned about my children. You know, I'm concerned about my grandchildren and what will this world be, and you know what's going to go on. And then there's some people that are less fortunate than others. That are in need of services, and they're in need of different programs to be activated in our country. Listen, on November the 3rd.
November 3rd.
It's the big day.
Yes.
It's the big day. We're voting November the 3rd. We want you to use your voice. It's your choice. Get to the polls and make a choice that will cause us to have a better tomorrow. I'm so glad to be sitting with you, Jalisa.
I'm glad to be sitting with you.
Oh my goodness, she's just wonderful. If you heard her voice, you just heard just a little bit of all that's within her. She has new music that's coming out, and I'm just so excited to be connected to her. This is my little sis right here. Amen. So listen, vote. It's your choice. November the 3rd, get to the polls. We're going to see you there. Yes. Peace.
Bye. Who will pay reparations on my soul?
God grew up and burned everything around it. Every moon and every galaxy, every source, every history didn't look beautiful at first, and the objects seemed like they were good.
And documents written.
Hundreds and thoughts. Maybe directions.
For the aid that was given, they gave us
it never
pieces of silver and pieces of gold. Tell me who will pay reparations on my soul.
Beautiful people of Miami, I love you. I'm gonna say something to you that they say, and hopefully it hits and means something different when I say it than when they do, right? Be all that you can be. Yeah. And listen as I talk, because time is ticking in swirls, and time after time, they pick scabs off this earth's back as ticks in this world, yet fiction is living, pleasure and pain is given, and we all walk handstands on tight ropes with the earth and its hopes on our mind over matter, soul over flesh blabber, rather infatuated with the thought of thinking which death is worse, sinking or splattered, but fuck that. I'm done uttering obscure. But I begun to make sure I soar shores through sores of metaphors. Of course I coast to Corco, then crack your cola while you croak on chrome. So critique that, country critters. While still my willing wits litter a bit of the bitter tasting nation that's lowercasing, placing the faces of our racist inkling capitals by statistics. See, I pump the piss fist. I'm a pacifist with a pessimistic shit list, cause this belongs to me. I mean, G-O-D, actually the all in we, cause in reality, you, me, and the planets make the all's energy, and G-O-D, if not the we, if one speaks in fractions of exactly. See, the future's fractured, B, so extract me from your abstract scenery, cause surreal is so real to the all my soul can be, which is just G, we, me, not a slack of the buck, back of the truck, or shit, I'm fucked out of luck, crop gathering, paid pennies, fruit picker, or that must be blind, comes first to mind for a country's front line, shield of fools for the elite, are first to catch the missile, sir, may the spick speak, sir, you wanna harm me, shoot 3 of my limbs off for me to come back as a war hero nicknamed Army. That's not all I can. So to hell with your sorority glories and cloning our stories to make them false fables. The all in me, which is the seed of energy, knows to disable and label our truth. I give you nothing but the oops that I spit on your books for glorifying you as heroes and not crooks. Song, I'm on a vagabond with a death wish, died with your boots on mission for the pawns to win the once upon. Cause it's been a wrong song to me. Son of man, seed of energy, the goblins, G-O-D. Actually, the all in we. In reality, you, me, and the planets make the all's energy and G-O-D, if not the we, if one speaks in fractions of exactly. So in these sands of insanity, breathe along with your seeds, and soon we'll see that we can and shall be all we can be, which is just we. Vote, y'all. Stop playing.
Say what you gotta say. Do what you gotta do. Say what you gotta say. Do what you gotta do. Beyond all that pain, my heart is still beating. Crying up a shame, but my faith is never fleeting. Never do I linger. I don't got that kind of time.
Whoa, that was awesome. Man, Miami artists really got it going on. I am absolutely loving all of these incredible performances. And I mean, art really can lift us up when we need it most. All right, Miami, so perhaps you're like me and you're motivated to exercise your power to vote, but you're not exactly clear on what's on the ballot this year. Well, we all know that we'll be voting for the President of the United States, but what about all the state and local items? It's slightly overwhelming. But here tonight, we have help to sort it all out with my friend Nicky Zarchen of Radical Partners, who will guide us through a fantastic website that we can all use. Hey, Nikki, what's up? How are you today?
Hi, Cindy. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super pumped and excited to be here.
Y'all over at Radical Partners are really putting in that work over there. You guys are an amazing resource for Miami-Dade County for the young people. Like, I've been on the site, votemiami.org, and you guys are there making sure that people are #vote ready. And can you tell us a little bit about why it was created and what the purpose of it is exactly?
Yeah, absolutely. So Vote Miami a couple years ago, some of us were preparing for our election, and we were realizing that we had to dig through so much on the internet to try and have access to good voter information. Like us, very civically engaged people working in the social impact ecosystem, we're having a super difficult time finding when, how, and where we were voting and who we were voting for.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really difficult time, and so we came together as a regional collaborative, and we're working with some amazing partners this year, like the Miami Foundation, Knight Foundation, Florida Counts, and Miami Herald. And together we brought to life votemiami.org, which is an online kind of collection of all of these great resources into a one-stop shop for all your civic engagement needs in Miami.
I'm so excited to hear about this because when I was trying to vote for the primaries and looking up all of my local legislators and like the officials that were on the ballot, I was so confused. But just to know that you who are civically engaged, who understand exactly how the system works, found, challenges with that whole system, makes me feel a lot better. So thank you.
There's no shame in it at all. It's not easy to be an informed voter, and so we're trying every day to make it easier and easier for everyone.
For sure. Thank you so much. How do I make an informed decision about who to vote for?
Now you need to know who's trying to fill these seats this year, who's running to be my people, who's running to represent me. And so another page we put together on votemiami.org is the Candidate 101 page. And so if you go through, you can see we consolidated all the races that are happening countywide. So in case you weren't aware, we're voting for the Miami-Dade County Mayor this election. They're the executive branch of your county government here in Miami-Dade. And so you can see here that we have 2 runoff candidates. And down below, you can see these awesome videos from our partner, the Miami Foundation, who's put together interviews from these mayors. So you can hear from their mouths what they believe in, so you can cast a really informed ballot. We also have this through the county commissioners, all the way down to the judicial races for this year. So you can come here and find out everyone who's running in this coming election.
Nikki, you just inspired me, girl. Okay. I want to have a voter party, like a virtual voter party. Like, people in my district, we all jump on a video conference and we get to have a conversation, go to votemiami.org and get to learn stuff right away. Split up, we get a bunch of information, we come back, we share with the group. That would be so much fun.
It would be so much fun. I love the idea. If you end up hosting your own party, those of you out there, tag us at Radical Partners, put votemiami.org, share it with your friends. I'd love to see the party happening.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to share with the people from your heart about this specific time, about this specific election? Anything? Go.
Yeah, I'm sure as many folks have said tonight, voting is so critical. It is so important right now. We have to make our voices heard. Democracy works best when all of us are involved in the process and we're all represented. Please have a conversation with your friends, share these resources and all the resources of the amazing community partners who are presenting here tonight. Start the conversation, start the movement, bring your friends and family and community to the polls. Let's mobilize all Miamians this year.
Yes, Nikki, thank you so much for being with us tonight. You are a ray of sunshine, a ray of light, super passionate. I can feel your energy through my keyboard and my screen. Keep fighting the good fight, and when I have my party, you'll get an invite, girl.
Thanks. I look forward to it. I'll bring the music.
Thanks so much. Have a great night. I'll see you real soon.
Bye, Cindy.
Bye. All right, so hopefully we're now more aware of those crucial down ballot items and where we can find more resources this election year. Now, let's jump back into some more music with Inez Barlatier.
This next song is called Where Is Your Home? I wrote it about being Haitian American. And as a Haitian American, I am going to use my voice in this election to represent our community. Kote la kaimwe na tukoseo na kilang mamam bale kote kinom no goli histoire pepla passe ba moem kote Haïtia ni no mwemia keme itele bim tu live it la se kaimwe we se Miami kote yo dim yo kavin yo mon mais dans un temps yo tout a changé et puis c'est yo tout morceau tout petit n'a pas écrit accent la main parce que connaît l'histoire pas capable pas jamais raconter pas jamais raconter. Where is my home? In the stories, in the language that my mother speaks. Where is my home? In the history that my people passed over to me. Where is Haiti? In a memory that I carry from when I was young. Here is my home in Miami, where they said I could be someone. But the times, they are changing, and there is little that we truly own. We are writing in sand, knowing our stories may never be told. So we get up and vote. We get up and vote. Yeah, we get up and vote. We get up and vote. Please get up and vote. Thank you.
This election is an important one.
Every election is important, this one especially so.
No matter who you are, you should vote.
No matter what you believe in, you should vote.
Exactly. If you believe in states' rights, vote.
If you care about the planet, vote.
If you believe in the Second Amendment, vote.
If you believe in the First Amendment, vote.
If you want less taxes, vote.
If you want universal health care.
Do you believe in American values?
Do you believe in climate change?
If you want a stronger America, vote.
If you want a more equitable America, vote.
If you want a bagel in every toaster and a diamond in every goose, vote.
Hi. Voting is our responsibility as American citizens.
Voting is our civic duty.
Voting is the only way they'll let me into libraries anymore.
No matter what you believe, you should vote.
No matter what?
No matter what.
What if you believe in aliens?
Sure, you should vote.
Flat earthers?
Yep.
The Illuminati?
Yes, you should still vote.
A shadow lizard government?
Is that a thing?
It isn't?
Yes, you should still vote.
This voting stuff sounds really cool.
It is.
Can I borrow $50?
No.
That doesn't sound very democratic of you.
What does that have to do with democracy?
Step off me, narc.
What?
Let's focus on voting.
Yes, let's get back to it. Voting is for everyone.
Whether you live in a big city,
small towns,
abandoned amusement parks,
whether you're young,
whether you're old,
whether you have no proof of your age or citizenship.
Actually, in that case, that's not correct.
Huh?
You need an ID to vote.
I got an ID right here.
It's a tattoo of a roast beef sandwich?
Tomato, tomato.
If you're registered to vote, you should vote.
And bring your ID, a real ID.
And don't forget your voting card.
Oh my God, that's actually correct.
Even a broken clock is right away.
Vote.
Vote.
Drink milk. Almond milk.
A bit of comedic relief from our friends at the Villain Theater. Thank you so much. Now, I do love my almond milk, don't you? All right, y'all. So we all know that everyone has the right to vote, but sometimes it feels a little impossible, especially when you have a pandemic going on, misinformation invading our channels, and even attempts at voter suppression. Here tonight to chat with us about ensuring that your vote is counted, let's welcome my girl Nashira Williams from the League of Women Voters, Miami. Hi, Nashira. Thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Cindy. It is great to be with you today. I'm so excited to interview with you and have a conversation about voting.
We have a lot to talk about, and let's just get to the meat, okay? So everything we've learned tonight about creating a plan to vote is crucial, but obviously none of it matters if our vote is not counted. So this year, naturally, a lot of people are concerned about voter suppression. I actually saw the documentary All In that just came out with Stacey Abrams, and she kind of broke down the voter suppression tactics or the methods that can help, that work to suppress people from going out and getting their votes counted. So I guess what I want to ask you is, what is the first step in making sure that our vote counts in this election year?
So thank you, Sydney. I think you're right. We have a lot of information out there, not only the documentary that you watched, but some of the things that are coming out based on the Facebook data that was leaked. And so the first thing that we need to do to make sure that our vote is counted is ensure that we can vote, right? Registering to vote, making sure that the way that we would like to vote, we have all the things that we need. So if we're going to vote by mail, request that now, like immediately. Go into the supervisor of elections for your county to request your mail-in ballot. And then once you receive it, once you get it, ensure that you are able to fill it out immediately and return it. So you can always submit your mail-in ballot through early voting, or you can wait until election day, and there should be some drop-off boxes. If not, you will have to take it to the supervisor of elections. So the quickest possible route to the poll is the best possible route to the poll. So we want to ensure that in order for your vote to count, you do those things. And then once you have already voted, if you want to ensure that your vote is counted, you want to go on the Supervisor of Elections website to follow your vote. And so you should see on that site that your vote is counted. And if it's not, go ahead and give them a call. Unfortunately, they don't answer text messages, but if you give them a call and you let them know that you're concerned about your vote counting, they will make sure, or they will ensure that your vote, that they give you a follow-up on why it didn't count, and what you can do to follow suit.
So that's super important. We hear that things have been changing with the USPS recently, and that, you know, people are concerned about vote by mail and sending their votes in this year. Do you have any suggestions on how maybe the best way to vote, or who would like to or need to vote by mail?
Cindy, that's a great question. My mom actually worked for the post office for 30-something years before she retired. Yeah, really? And so I've always had a strong belief in the postal system. I could time a letter to the T, and if it was late, I'm like, hey, Mommy, what's going on? And she's like, oh, the machines or something like that. So it is really clutch my pearls is what we say in our local community. It is really, I'm aghast at how many changes are taking place in a system that has worked for us so well in the past. So for those who would like to vote by mail, I mean, and those are individuals who believe that they have some safety issues. They may not be able to make it to the polls for individuals who are looking out for family members, right? And so they could probably go to the polls, but because they live with family who are immunocompromised and they're not in a space to be able to do that, the first thing to do is make sure that you request your ballot. And in the state of Florida, if you request your ballot, you are you're able to get your ballot for 2 years, so, or for 2 election cycles. So if you request a vote by mail ballot this election cycle, it'll just show up for the next one, and then you have to restart. So that's a really great way for people to continuously promote that voting. So go ahead and request that vote by mail ballot.
Okay, so Nashira, what about the stories in the news about people being turned away during the primaries? All right, full disclosure, happened to me. Something, when I went there, I showed my ID, they were like, something, you can't vote today. And I didn't have any tools to combat or just, I had no rebuttal, so I ended up leaving. And I was like, I am not the only person that this has happened to today. So are there any resources for people who are having issues when they get to the polls and when they get to their voting site? Can you offer any insight to that?
Sure. So I appreciate you saying that, Cindy. I think we talk a lot about what we should do beforehand, right? Like make sure that our signature matches, make sure that we have this ID. But once you get there, you really are at the mercy of the poll workers, right? And so one really great way or one great resource is to become a poll worker yourself. I know that they're looking for a lot of people to fill in that role. And so if you are educated about the system and you're able to navigate it well, become a poll worker. And so when you see it happening at the scene, you can say, you can do something, you can interject, and you can say, that's not right. This is what needs to happen in order for this person to vote. Secondly, if you are at the polls and they're not allowing you to vote, you can call 1-866-R, that's OUR, vote, and that is our voter protection line. The league is always monitoring that polling days, and so we ensure that we get back to you as soon as we can to make sure that your vote counts. So I've heard in the news about being turned away from the polls. Thank you for sharing your story, Sydney. I think sometimes people want to make it real, so they need to know someone who that's happened to. So I really appreciate you saying that, but it happens. Yeah, it happens more than it needs to happen for things that are definitely not against the rules of voting. So 1-866-R, OUR, vote is a really great way to ensure that if you are turned away from the polls, that you are able to vote that day.
So once the ballot is in, Nashira, whether I mailed it or I dropped it off in person, what is the best recommendation to verify, confirm that my vote is counted?
Perfect. Cindy, the best way is the supervisor of elections. So going in on the website, ensuring that you put in your name, and I believe you put in your name and your address, and they will tell you if the vote counted or not. The supervisor of elections has a responsibility to tell you if your vote is not been counted, especially when you vote by mail, and they have a responsibility to let you know before the election, before a certain amount of time.
So Nashira, you are a part of a historic organization. How is the League of Women Voters engaging individuals to vote this year? And talk to us a little bit about like voting volunteer opportunities and vote411.org. Go.
Sure. Thank you, Cindy. So the league was started in 1920 when women got the right to vote, and in 1974 we incorporated men, and that's been kind of where our focus is really educating voters and making sure that they're prepared as they go through each election cycle. And so it's not just for this election, it's for all elections, right? Since 1920, that's a lot of elections.
That's a lot of elections.
And so we do that by utilizing and catalyzing volunteers. So thank you for asking that. We do right now have pass cards to those who need to be educated about Amendment 4 and their rights as ex-convicts in this election. And we also have individuals being able to sign up to give out information or speeches or workshops for those who need it about this election season. But we have 411, which everyone can access. So vote411.org is the website that a phenomenal group of women put together to make sure that everyone is educated. So looking on the site, you're going to get everything from the president to your local community seats that are being filled. And so it's a really great educational piece and component that the league has been doing for a very long time. And I'm really excited that they're continuing that service.
This is so cool. I'm on the website right now, vote411.org. It gives you like a map. You can like mouse over each state. Florida, how you doing? And then right at the top, it's register to vote. Check your voter registration status. Find out what's on your ballot. Hey, you make it easy. You make it user friendly. Yes.
It sounds like you just became a volunteer, Sydney, because
I'm here for it.
I'm sure you're going to tell a couple people about Vote 411.
I'm going to tell everybody. Nashira Williams, thank you so much for being here tonight. You are an inspiration to us all. Keep thriving, Queen.
Thank you, Cindy. I stand. So you are an inspiration to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, folks, we're getting closer to our final performances of the night. So far, we've learned about 3 ways to vote, what's on the ballot, and how you can make your voice heard. Now, remember, you can always come back to revisit this video to refresh your memory. Now, let's check out something uniquely Miami. Drag performer Karla Croqueta.
What I am my own special creation. So come take a look, give me a hook or the ovation. It's my world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I bang my own drum. Some think it's noise, well, I think it's pretty. And so what if I love each feather and each spangle? Why not try to see life from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am.
My lover's got humor, used to giggle at a funeral. Everybody's disapproval, should've worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak, fresh poison each week. We were born sick, you heard them say it. My church offers no absolute. She tell me worship in the bedroom. Only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen. 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 Take me to church, I worship like a dog at the shrine of your lights. Tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that devil's death. I'm good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I worship like a dog at the shrine of your lights. Tell you my sins, you could sharpen your knife. Offer me that devil's death. I'm good God, let me give you my life. If I'm a pagan of the good times, my love is a sunlight.
to keep the goddess on my side. She demands a sacrifice to drain the whole sea. Get something shiny, get something meaty for the main course. That's a fine looking high horse. What you got in the stable? Got a lot of starving faithful. That looks tasty, that looks plenty. This is hungry water, girl. I worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. Tell you my sins, you could sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death, oh good God. Let me give you my life. Take me to church, I worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. Tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death, oh good God. Let me give you my life. No masters or kings when the ritual begins. There is no sweeter innocence than our gentle sin. In the madness and soul of that sad earthly scene, only then I am human, only then I am clean. Oh, amen, amen, amen. I worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. Tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death, oh good God. Let me give you my life. Take me to church, I worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. Tell you my sins and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death, oh good God. Let me give you my life. Oh. Hello everyone, my name is Yoli Mayor and I'm here to let you know that it is time to vote. I spent a lot of my adult life being consciously ignorant, ignoring the news and not trying to learn the way that my government worked because I didn't think that I could make a difference, being the person that I am. But the truth is that the more informed we are, with every lesson we learn, every vote we cast, every ballot that we pay attention to, we can slowly mold this world into what we need it to be. We can make a difference. You are not small. You are not unheard. And your opinions are valid, so put them on the ballot.
Good day, blessings to you from the heart of the Everglades. My name is Samuel Tommie. I'm a citizen of the Seminole tribe. It is a privilege to have democracy on this land. The democracy on this land goes back hundreds of years, thousands of years. It is important that we stay strong, that we have courage, and we have hope. And through our strength and together, we have to vote. If our votes don't count, we have to stand up again and make sure it counts. It's an honor to be on this land, and on this land, to the indigenous people, everything is sacred. The land, the inhabitants, the life, all life is sacred. And it has always been sacred to the indigenous people for thousands of years. And it is an honor, and I appreciate you for listening and understanding that we are still here. We still believe in the times when people will come together. We can rebuild our democracy by being strong. Join us and put in your vote. Let's make democracy sacred again.
So in conclusion, mi amor, there are so many different inspirations, so many zodiological signs, so many reasons for you to vote and show your voice on November the 3rd. So please join me in thanking the universe and contributing and voting and make your mark count. Because remember, voting is the expression of our universal commitment to ourselves, to one another, to our community, and to our country. So, mi amors, take this power that has been given to you and go and make your voice be heard. And if you do, I promise, mi amors, you will be granted mucho, mucho amor.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Young, Director of the Institute for Civic Engagement and Democracy at Miami-Dade College. Thanks to all of our amazing artists and speakers tonight. At MDC, we know that education is the great equalizer, and we consider ourselves democracy's college because of the diverse students we serve and our commitment to civic engagement. We educate our students to be the next generation of civically engaged changemakers, starting with our right to vote. We recognize that the health of our democracy depends on an informed and engaged citizenry. And when our students opt out, their voices aren't heard and our community suffers. We are grateful to our faculty who have worked hard to ensure that their students are registered and have the information they need to be ready to vote. MDC is a proud partner of the Ask Every Student national campaign that aims for 100% voter registration by ensuring that every student has multiple opportunities to register to vote. At MDC, we believe, as Robert Burns said, the purpose of life is a life of purpose, and voting and civic engagement are a big part of living a meaningful life and an essential obligation of being an educated citizen. Next up, we hear from MDC students who tell us why your vote is your voice.
Your vote is your voice. Every vote counts. Young voters like you and me count for half of the voting population. So let's go out there and vote and show the older generation that we care about our future too.
Vote to honor those who struggled for civil rights, for women's suffrage, for justice for all, for those who have struggled to get us to where we are now.
Democracy cannot work without citizen participation. Voting in local elections is important because it affects the economy, infrastructure, and social policies in our community.
Voting puts you in charge of your future.
The future is now, and we have the power to change it with our votes.
I grew up in Cuba and never dreamed of having the right to vote. So I'm gonna make sure I do so that I can exercise the fundamental privilege that millions around the world don't have.
Change the future, go out and vote.
Being election ready is easy. All you have to do is go on mdc.edu/vote.
I am not a U.S. citizen yet, but I still have a voice. I can be a change maker, and so can you. Encourage family, friends, and everyone you meet to vote. Help others register to vote. Volunteer on a candidate's campaign. Educate others about the issues you care about. Don't limit yourself. Your voice still matters.
Your vote is your voice.
Your vote is your voice.
Your vote is your voice.
Thank you, MDC, for being democracy's college. Your vote is your voice. And we hope that you feel more informed and inspired than ever to rise up and vote this year. It's so important we make a difference in this election. Remember, Miami, have a plan to vote, be ready to cast your ballot, and make it count. Tonight's event will remain right here on the Live Arts Miami Facebook page if you need a refresher before casting your ballot, or if you just want to get your friends and family in the game. Well, I have had an amazing time being your host. I've learned so much, and I hope you have too. On behalf of Live Arts Miami, I want to give a special thank you to our partners Engage Miami, Radical Partners, and the League of Women Voters, plus all of the incredible artists that made tonight truly special. And a special shout out to Miami-Dade College and the ISED department. Yo, fun fact, I would not be the artist I am today if I hadn't gotten my start at MDC Kendall campus in the music department. Now to wrap things up for us, it is time to welcome an international chart-topping artist, the grandson of human rights activist and Jamaican music legend Bob Marley. This singer-songwriter was raised right here in South Florida. Show your love and give it up for Skip Marley. And please stick around for the closing set from our friend Mr. Pauer. And don't forget, make your mark, Miami.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with your rising sun. 3 little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Oh, don't worry, singing, don't worry about a thing. We won't worry, every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with your rising sun. 3 little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. Say, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. We won't worry. Singing, don't worry about it. Worry about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry. Sing along, y'all. Bowda, yeah, yeah. Every little thing gonna be alright, yeah. Singing, don't worry about it, about nothing, no. Every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about nothing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Sing along, singing, don't about a thing. Every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about nothing. No. Every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry, singing, don't, no, yeah. Every little thing gonna be alright.
Yes, what a beautiful event. Thank you to everybody that participated. My name is Mr. Pauer. Estoy muy orgulloso de formar parte de esta iniciativa. Recuerda, voting is powerful. Lo dejo con esta canción.
Timbo al tambo, timbo al tambo, timbo al tambo. Vamos del timbo al tambo, timbo al tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo. tambo, timbo al tambo, va. Vamos del timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo.
Remember, voting is powerful. Que se escuche tu voz. Dice Pauer en la casa.
Dale pa' abajo, 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 pa' abajo, pa' abajo, dale 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 pa' abajo, dale pa' abajo, dale. Epa, 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 epa. Pa' abajo. Cuero, 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 cuero. Vamos del timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo. Vamos del timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo. Vamos del timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo. Vamos del timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo, timbo al tambo, tambo. Cuero.
Muchas gracias.